Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. I think the boys are back in the building. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today, man? Y'all good?
I'm good.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, man. Guys, y'all know what it is already. It's the Pod About It crew. We are here to do exactly that. We are going to pod about it. And enough with the applause. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all for watching. Shout out to the people out there in the live audience right now. Make sure you guys make yourselves known by saying something to us in the chat. If you were here from Nothing But Niners, let us know. Don't forget what I begged y'all to do. If you guys are from Nothing But Niners, if you read that message, my man G down here says he will shave his head, wax it on camera once we get 200 subscribers. Guys, just give me the 200. Let us go live, and y'all can leave right after. I just want to see it that bad, okay? But we're going to have a good time. Shout out to Mike in the building. Woke Niners Recaps is in there. It's my man Mike. Duck.
Yo.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Same old. Nothing changed. Just another day. Still breathing.
All right. G, what about you? You good?
Actually, you know what? You go first because what I'm going to do is going to lead into the first topic.
Oh, no. I'm just asking how you doing. That's all. We're going to get to a weekend recap and stuff like that.
All right. I'm good, man. What is it, Tuesday? I was about to say Monday. Jesus, God.
Whoo, that boy's so good, he wanted to start the week over again. He took it backwards today. I don't know many people doing that. Yeah, man. So, I was just talking to my kids about how Derek used to, he say, how old are you? And he would start at his toes and be like, 1, and touch his knees, 2. And he would touch his hips, 3, and he gets to the top of his head, 4. I'm 4 years old. Now, he would be 4, but he thought it was based off of height. All right. So when he would come up to me and count how old I was, I ain't even gonna tell you all the numbers he was getting to when he was that young. What's the weirdest thing you ever seen a kid do that you just thought was so pure and innocent? Yeah, I put y'all on the spot. I want y'all to think about that for a little bit because I told y'all this a couple of weeks ago while y'all think about it, but how my one daughter was like, Daddy, how old am I when I turn into a boy? Like she just thought you got to be both for a lifetime. A certain, you know how start as a tadpole and you grow the legs, right? She thought she was gonna grow the limb, I guess, and just turn into a boy at a certain age. It's just little stuff like that I think is adorable, man. Go ahead, Duck.
I'll tell you one with your first daughter, way back before you had your hair the way it is now. Walked in your house one day, she looked up at me, Daddy, Duck's got the same hair as you.
Oh God. Oh gosh. You know what's going on, man. Good to see you in here, man. I see you. G, can you think of it? You lived with Zai for years. She never did nothing like super innocent and just.
Yeah, but nothing comes to mind. She'll be 20. Like that was over 10 years ago. Nothing I could think of at the moment that's just
wild.
Like innocent that comes to me at the moment.
My baby never been innocent. That's sad and upsetting.
You're crazy. No, she has it. Your kids are still young. My daughter is a woman. She can get married next week if she wanted.
Yeah, but you were there for the upbringing.
I know, I can't think of anything at the moment.
All right. Now I'm gonna ask y'all how the weekend is. I got a feeling this is gonna lead into G's topic, but I'm gonna tell you right now, G, if you start shooting at me, I'm gonna shoot back. I'm just letting you know. So you careful with how you breach.
First of all, I'm gonna let you kick the story off because from seeing it from your perspective is what alerted it to me that I was having a situation.
No. I want to ask everybody how their weekend was in general. We'll start with Duck. G and I did get a chance to see each other, so our stories will overlap. We're gonna throw it back to Duck. Let's do the solo screen thing where we highlight the individual speaker here. There we go. Duck, man, how was your weekend, my man?
Weekend was cool. Spent it with my baby. You know, it was the end of the week and a half with her, the second one of the 3 out of the summer. It was cool. We actually went to my older sister's house. She got to spend time with my second youngest niece, so a little cousin play date, and we went to Music Fest out there while we were out there before that got rained out, and we went back to the house. Otherwise, it was cool. Chilling. That's it.
Okay. All right. So, G, you want to go next?
Nah, you go next.
I'll tell everybody what I did this weekend. So, Saturday was game night at G's house. He invited my wife and I over. So we get my mom to watch the children for us. She's here She came in and did some laundry. She's about to go on some kind of trip. I think she's leaving tonight or tomorrow. She's going to be gone for a while. So, figure, come on over, do your laundry. Kids have a bedtime and all that stuff. So they shouldn't be pestering you, too much. So we go over to G's. I went over there and lost a bunch of quarters. They came up with some cheating game.
Yeah, I came up with it.
It's supposed to be some dice rolling game. It's called Left, Right, Center.
Yeah.
It's a real game. He had a whole YouTube tutorial, but what he didn't tell me was that his wife knew how to cheat. So, you have 2 dice, or well, you can have up to 3 dice, depending on how many quarters are in front of you. You roll a dice for each quarter.
Dice?
No. Yes, she did. So you got 3 quarters in front of you, or $3, whatever denomination you playing. Next time I go, we playing with 20s just to make them nervous. I bet you won't roll the dice like that again.
Hey, I gotta get a pension loan then.
So she sits there, she rolls. Look, see, Jerry says he plays it with dollars. All right, but Jerry, let me tell you how the fix was in. This is my first time ever playing this, right? G has told us about this over the years, but I'd never played it before, Jerry, right? So she's sitting, I'm sitting next to her. We try to space it out. Me and my wife trying to figure out, well, if we sit next to each other and one of us get the other side, we got an opportunity to keep our quarters, like keep ourselves in it. That wasn't working. So I was like, all right, let me go to the other side of the room. I'm switching it up, and I'm next to G's wife. She has three quarters, so she has the 3 die. There's a dot on 3 sides of the die. One side is a star, one side is left, and one side is right. Duck, I have never seen anybody. Okay, so if you roll one that has a L on it or a left, you got to pass a quarter or denomination to the left. You get one to the right, you got to pass it to the right. You get one with a star, you got to put it in the pot in the middle of the table. If you get the dot, if you get the dot, you get to keep it. Okay? I have never in my life, and by the way, it's my first time playing, seen somebody roll consecutive dots the way that she did. Like, bro,
it was like 10 hands, like 10 passes. She just kept getting dots.
The whole, bro, it was to the point, like, my face, Duck, like, I'm not good at hiding stuff. So it was to the point I was just sitting there like.
He was calling it out. She's going to roll a dot. Sure enough, drop it, dot.
Bro, the fix was all the way in. And check out how smooth they were when they did it. When she finally lost, he won the hand. They hustled the hell out of me. They hustled the hell out of me, bro. When she finally lost, it was the hand that he won.
It was Courtney.
Did she tap him on the elbow before she...
I don't know what the signal was.
What was the signal, G? What was the signal?
Nah, it was my niece that won because my niece was in between the both of us. I won when it was a smaller game.
Oh, okay. But all I know is she knew how to keep her coins, and nothing I was doing. Nothing I was doing was working.
Said y'all kept the money in house is the point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They sure did.
The last game, somebody from outside the house walked off with the big pot. I think it was $36. Woo.
Yeah, she had the big pot. Yeah, she had the big pot. But other than that, we were there. We had a good time. There was some preseason football on. Oh, by the way, how did y'all feel about y'all team's preseason? Actually, no. Let's go ahead and give it to G, because G had an experience during all of this. So you could give the recap of your week. My Sunday, obviously, football was back. That's why I started talking about football just then, but we'll get to that later. So go ahead, G. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I went to the movies earlier that Saturday. I went to go see the last movie, the Meter, the Dracula movie. It was good. Came home, helped set up for the game night. Actually, my wife had most of everything set up by the time I got home anyway, so it wasn't much for me to do. So, had a good weekend, had friends and family over. We had a packed house. And mind you, 2 more people were supposed to come and couldn't make it. So I'm kind of glad because we don't have that much space to begin with. So that's why I'm praying God blesses us with a bigger place so we can have it, something epic.
Hey, and he had the nerve to tell me I could have brought my kids. Yeah, right.
I said it was up to you. Bro, we had like 14 people there. Luckily, our living room and dining room connect because we just had everybody between the 2 spaces. So it was during one of the hands, Mike decided to sit out. He sees the PlayStation over there, and he decides to, grab one of the controllers. And I want to hear from Mike's perspective. I want Mike to tell it because I didn't know what was going on in my mind. Well, I knew what was going on. I just didn't know that he didn't know.
So I'm at my man's house. He's got PlayStation controls underneath the TV next to the PlayStation. He's got one behind the couch on like the little landing thing right there. But every one of his controls are a different color. And if you're anything like me, colors are a reflection of my mood. All right. So I was attracted to the purple one. Now, partially because I have a purple control that I lost. I really think it was that one, but whatever. So I picked it up to mess with him. I was like, yo, G, you stole my control. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, no, I bought that. I can't prove it. I don't know the serial number on the remote that I lost. So it's cool. I'm gonna turn the PlayStation on. But I hit the power button. My man was in the dining room. I'm in his living room. Now, like he said, the rooms are connected. There's the doorway and everything, like, so you can see from one room to the other, like yours, Duck, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's in the middle of a conversation. When he heard the PlayStation turn on, he locks in on the control in my hand. Like, no, Mike, not that one. Play with that control right there. And he points to the one behind the couch.
Whoa. Gee,
and I'm like, wait. I said, no, it's not a big deal. I'm just going, let me see what games you got, and I'm gonna maybe do some Call of Duty. No, but you got to play with the other control. He's back in the conversation. Let me. This way is the conversation he's having. This way is where I was.
Oh,
all right. So it's beep. Wait, look, I'm gonna show you. So he's talking, he's engaged. Beep. No, Mike, not that control. Use that one right there. Gee, I'm gonna play the game. I just want to see what get. No, but you gotta use that's not the right way to do it. That's not the right order. Right? I swear to God, that's what the man told me. It's not the right order. I said, wait, hold on now. Like, what are you talking about? Gee, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not gonna kill them. No, but you're gonna mess up. You're gonna mess it up. You can't. That's not how you do it. I'm like, gee, calm down. It's just a remote. Like, what's the? I'm not exaggerating. This
some is how sort of OCD over the charge and the order that they get charged in.
Bro, listen,
and that's what I told him.
When I tell you my man was losing it, he was trying to stay in the conversation he was in. His body wouldn't let him. He started sweating. Yo, he started rocking a little bit. Like he wanted to come and snatch the control out of my hand, but he was fighting it. I have never seen a grown man react that way to anything before in my entire life, bro.
Yeah, G, now, that's a bad look.
Hold on real quick. Just so he can right there. Proof that I bought the purple controller.
All I can barely make out.
Hold on. I'm
put it closer to the screen. Put it closer. Keep going.
Hold on. I got something.
You gonna turn your brightness down?
Yeah.
Look, he gonna try to prove that he bought my control.
This is funny.
Make sure your address ain't showing, bro. Be careful.
Nah, it's not in there.
I'll tell you what, G, you should have took it a step further. I don't know if Mike told you.
Okay. All right, we see you. Don't nobody care. That's my control, though.
I keep receipts.
You should have took it a step further than the receipt. When me and Unc moved out of the apartment, a while after we both got settled, he hits me up. Hey, Duck, I'm missing this game. I know I loaned it to you. Give me back my game. Like he was literally like 0 to just all the way on that immediately. And I was like, Unc, I don't have your game. I bought that game. I was like, I never played it. I was like, but I bought that game well before we got that apartment together. He was like, no, you have mine. He was like, show it. I was like, Unc, I'm willing to bet my game is still in the wrapper, right? Like literally. And so I had to go down to my basement, fish it out, send him a picture. Sure enough, it's still in the plastic wrap. That's how I bought it and never opened it. I buy it from you, mind you.
No apology.
It wasn't a PS3 game, was it? It was a PS4 game.
It was a system behind. That's what made it funny.
Okay. So yeah, if it was a PS3 game, G, that means it was what, $40-$50?
Yeah.
That's like he offered me like $80 for it. And I'm not selling my game because I don't know if I'm gonna. Now Mike settled it. He went to, you said Amazon you got it off of, so it was like the whatever they call greatest hits at that point. So I think it was only like $20 if even. But yeah. Nah, he was literally like, he didn't ask me if I had it. Duck, I gave you my game. Where's my game?
Wait, I'm curious because I remember this vividly. Was this in person? How did this happen? Because I remember this happening.
I don't remember. No, none of this was in person. I don't know if I called you after and
Did you
told
send me
what
screenshots
happened.
or something? Like this was funny.
Yeah, I just know like he didn't even give me a chance. He just I know I let you hold my game.
He wanted that joint.
Yeah, next time just keep the controller in the box, G.
So my question is, after I knew I had a situation like that, I charged it in the order. I pulled from the right, and I put the one that's dying on the charger, and then I just keep that, rotation going. I don't think I was conveying that to Mike well enough, but also Mike is like, well,
No.
why can't I just pull? Go ahead. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, he did. I completely. When he explained it the first time, I could see the order in which he used it. I could tell it was a 4-controller rotation, so that he always had 2 on the charger, 1 sitting there ready to be taken next, and then he had I could clearly see the rotation. My point is, it's 4 fucking controls sitting here. Why do you care?
Right. Does your wife play with you? Does anybody in the house play with you?
Nah.
Now tell me why he was acting like that.
You got 4 controllers.
Nobody else touches the remote.
To me, it's an organization thing, and also it probably has something to do with I have OCD with certain stuff. I don't know all the things that trigger it. So that was actually my topic. Do you guys have anything that triggers OCD for you? A situation, somebody coming to moving something, and now you got to reorganize everything, or if you didn't organize it or do it, you got to do it over because, whatever. Any OCD traits?
The only thing, growing up, I used to have that like the sensation thing. Like if I felt something hit me on my arm here, I wanted to feel it on the opposite arm, in the same spot. Like I had that little bit, and it wasn't like if you punch me here, punch me there, but it was like certain things, like like simple touches, simple sensations. But other than that, and I grew out of that a long time ago. And other than that, I don't have.
I think
nothing that comes to mind. That's probably one of those things that like other people that you spend time with might notice about you more so.
That's precisely where I was going to go, because G didn't realize it was that bad until like he's watching me react to him. Right? I was like, G, like you always been like this? He's like, I don't know, but you can't. You're not doing it right. Like he couldn't focus, bro. And I was like, Linda, he was like, yes, Mike, like yes. And I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. Like I should have warned her about this at the wedding. Like
nobody in the screening process, huh?
Right, Jerry. Thanks for joining in, man. You take care out there, all right, man. Be safe out there, bro. It's pouring out here, guys. I might lose power.
I was going to tell y'all that too. I heard a rumble a couple minutes before we start. So if I black out, I'll do my best to rejoin as fast as possible. But Mike, no OCD traits for you. I know you got to have something. Coming from the guy who didn't like fingerprints on his touchscreen phone, you got to have something.
But I don't think that's OCD. I just don't like smudges, and I don't like if I can see an imperfection in something, I want to fix it. Like, don't ask me to clean a mirror. Like you know how like when you start cleaning a mirror, it looks good, and then when it starts to dry, you see like the little pieces of lint or whatever. I can't have that. That bothers me. So like I go like deep into when I'm cleaning a glass. I don't like to see the droplets when it's dry.
That might be a little OCD borderline.
But I don't think I've ever verbalized or attacked anybody over it. That's what I'm saying.
Attack you.
G,
nobody had to hold me back.
This sounds like a verbal assault, G.
He wanted to get me, bro. Like he was trying so hard to stay engaged in his conversation. G, what were they talking about?
I think it was. I don't know.
Exactly. That's my point.
I can share another one. It's not mine though, but my older sister, all of our childhood and to this day, food on a plate, none of it can be touching. Literally, like nothing can touch. And it was fun. Like I used to mix stuff on purpose once I realized she had that problem. Like I would, because she's that way about your plate as well. She doesn't want to see it. So she's gotten better about that, but she does not like it. And when we were growing up, I used to mess with her all the time and just mix
I'm like, you know, when you go to a cookout, like your food is touching the beans, is touching the macaroni salad.
Well, more importantly, I used to ask her before she had kids, what are you gonna do when your children are mixing their stuff up? And I think she used to say something to my oldest niece about it. I think she used to tell her, hey, baby, just eat it, you don't have to smear it on. I'd be like, yo, that would never work in my baby, just everything gets mixed up. And some stuff is better mixed anyway. I don't know what you think you're doing.
Yeah, some stuff do. And
I gotta ask her how she eat Mexican food.
I just realized another OCD mine, especially for the TV volume. Like I have to turn it up in increments of 5. I don't know why. Like Linda, she'll turn the TV up and it'll be on like 13. I'll grab the remote and then hit 2 more to make it 15.
Nah, that's weird. I get like even numbers, 14, 16, right? Keeping it even. I used to do that with my old TV upstairs. I don't do that anymore. I don't pay attention to it.
Well, my living room TV, we got the sound bar, so you can't see it. All you see is the light blinking. But the bedroom TV, you know, it goes from 1 to whatever. So I'll come in the room and she'll turn it up. I'm like, baby, can you turn it up? And she'll have it on like, 13 or whatever. Like I said, I got to turn it to 15. And she's like, well, can you turn it more? Now I got to turn it to 20. It can't be between anything between those numbers. It has to be, increments of 5. I don't know why. It just does.
Babe, do I have any OCD traits?
I know Mike got to have them. I can't think of any.
She said she can't think right now. What did you say? I had some. I do have or had with a V. Okay, currently. But you don't know any of them? Interesting. All right. Well, if you think of one throughout, while I'm on the show with them, let me know. Yeah, she said she can't think of anything. I'm perfect, guys. I'm perfect.
Y'all don't like for me when I do.
They are not one and the same.
For real. Like y'all don't have nothing like for me. My laundry. When I go to do my laundry, I pull all the stuff that's up there, like my jeans. I pull all the jeans that are currently up there forward, and the stuff that came out of the dryer, I fold them behind that. So I kind of like rotate them. Same way with my shirts. I pull from the left. I put the new stuff on the right. And it just works its way down there.
I have always worried about you.
It's getting worse.
It's gotten a lot worse in these last 20 minutes. I really want you to know, man. It's gotten a lot worse in these last 20 minutes.
All right, so never mind. I guess it's just me. Anybody in the audience, please, if you got any OCD traits, please
leave it in the comments. Leave it in the chat. If you're watching live, leave it in the comments on a rewatch. It is what it is. Listen, man, we're going to keep this party moving because I have another show that I have to do. Probably, I got some time, though, but still. I wanted to ask y'all a couple of things.
Now I do have one more. Now that I'm thinking about it, as I'm learning to do new things, like so, for example, y'all know, part of this long layoff, one of the things I've been doing for fun, learning how to make proper cocktails. I was for a very long time like exact measurements of whatever liquors and whatever mixers and all that stuff, and like I just grew out of it recently, where I was like, yo, I've been making this long enough. I don't need to do this anymore. But like, it was much longer than it should have been. That I was like, nope, this is supposed to be 2 shots of this, supposed to be 3/4 of a shot of this, or whatever it might have been. You know what I mean? Like I was on that for a while. But as I'm learning something new, I want it precise. So I guess that might count as it. But as you go along, you start to make stuff to taste anyway. So
yeah,
that's it. I'm sorry. You can continue.
Well, I want to add something that is actively happening to me right now in this very moment. This is bothering me. I don't think this is OCD, but I'm gonna share with y'all and I'm gonna ask y'all. Have y'all ever lent anyone money?
Of course.
$5, $10, $20, $30, whatever, couple hundred, whatever. Like, but you lent someone money with the expectation of them paying you back eventually.
Yeah.
When they pay you back, what is your preference of payment? Is it the same way I gave it to you? If I gave you cash, give me cash.
Go ahead, Doug.
I was about to say that used to be my thing, but to me, Venmo is equivalent to cash. So if I don't have
the Venmos, cash apps, PayPals, whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the same. But like, if I gave you cash or Venmo, don't write me a check.
Okay, now if you send somebody money, let's say you have Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, which I have all of these things, If I send you money on one of those, shouldn't you pay me back on the method that I sent it to you?
Yes.
Or if you're not going to send it back that same way, ask before you do it.
Or that.
Yeah. I normally ask people their preference. I'm like, hey, how do you want it? Apple Pay, Venmo, Zelle, and they tell me, oh, in cash. I'm like, great, you making this real inconvenient for me because now I got to schedule a bank day to go to the ATM or whatever when I could have just sent it to you. Boom.
So I had a cousin hit me up. Time's really tough right now. Can you hook me up? I'll pay you back when I get paid. So yeah, I got you. I sent them the money. Now I honestly forgot about it. It wasn't a lot of money. He was like, I just need to get through the week for lunch. Like, so it wasn't a lot of money, right? He texted me, oh, I paid you back. I said, no, you didn't. I'm looking at my account. You didn't. He sends me a screenshot. I said, bro, I don't have PayPal. Who'd you send that money to?
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Now, he sent me a screenshot of the transaction. It's got my name on it, and it's got an old nothing but Niners symbol that I never. Can y'all see me? Did I freeze?
You froze.
What the heck?
I'll tell you what's funny about you freezing. I was waiting. I saw that you were frozen. I was waiting for you to like hold up the phone, similar to what G did before I was going to tell you were frozen. Now I realized I wasn't going to be able to see when you did that.
Why did that just freeze like that?
I don't
Can
know.
y'all hear me?
Years ago.
Yeah, we can hear you, but you're still frozen.
Yeah, we definitely hear you. I feel like years ago you talked about an issue with PayPal or something with a payment that was made or wasn't made, and they wanted you to pay more or something, and that's why you got rid of your PayPal account or something like that.
Yeah, that do sound familiar. There you go.
Now you're good.
All right. Did the audio change?
Nah, you're good.
No.
All right, cool. So it says Michael Andrews, and it's an old nothing but Niner symbol that we wanted to use years ago, but we decided not to go with it. I have no idea who he sent that money to.
So he still owe you then?
No, because that if you needed to borrow that much money, I'm not expecting you to find a way to pay it back to me if you sent it to somebody else. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do. Do I download Here's how I know I don't use PayPal. Because years ago, when I used to order cell phones from overseas, because they were way better than the phones in this country, I'm talking like I would have a phone for 4 years, and then it would be in the next Mission Impossible movie, as if it was like some new hot shit. Like people would call me, be like, "Yo, like Tom Cruise using the phone that you had last year."
For our audience was crazy. He was doing this. He's saying years ago. It legit was like I was in high school, and I graduated high school in 08. He was doing this before I finished high school.
Right. But I used to buy and sell phones in this country because people couldn't get them. I had a connection at Nokia, and Nokia had all these futuristic phones. So I would order them from overseas, and I would put them up on my eBay page and sell them. Well, what happened was I sold this phone for $600. This guy's wife signed for it. There's a signed certified mail receipt that I had an email, and they went on and told me the guy reported he never received it. So they take the money back out my account. So he's got the phone and the money. I went to dispute it, and I sent them the signature and said, look, eBay, look, PayPal, they did receive it. Here's my proof of receipt. And they said, that's not his signature. That's not his name. So they honored it.
Wow.
So I haven't used PayPal since then. I haven't used PayPal, and that was, like Doug said, way before 2008.
Yeah.
I haven't used PayPal since then. I don't fuck with PayPal. Now, people have told me that there are sites that you can go to. You don't have to log in, but you can just pay on a card. But even if I did use a card to make some transactions throughout the time, somebody's air is like going crazy right now. It's G's. Yep. I just muted them and it stopped. Oh, wait, that might be. Let me see if I could change his setting. That's annoying. Let's see if that works for G. Yeah, that got worse. What the heck?
Oh
my God.
I'll just mute it when I'm not talking.
Yeah, I do think whoever this cousin is should have sent it back the same way. They should have
So,
sent it back the same.
my man, Woke Niner Recap says you can go on the web, Mike, but you will need to find out how to get back in. That is absolutely crazy. I don't even know what email address is associated with that. He said he sent it to a phone number. So, has anybody ever paid y'all back the wrong way and it made you upset?
No, but when I'm now, since we're so used to sending money electronically, when I was doing a lottery pool, my homegirl, she was giving me cash, and just like that Zelle commercial with the guy telling his friend, "Hey, you can send it to me through Zelle. It goes right to my account. It's instant. It's fast." Like I found myself repeating that same thing, and I'm like, now I gotta go to the bank and deposit this money. So I tend to get a little like not frustrated, but I feel inconvenienced when somebody gives me cash. I'm like, bruh, like you couldn't just send this to me. Like there's all these, like I said, Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo, three most used out there, and I'm like, you couldn't use either of these. Like when my mom, when we send her for whatever, she has it in her bank setting. All she has to do is turn it on, and she's like, nope, I don't want it. I'll get it when I feel like getting it. I'm like, now we have to go to the bank, take out the money, and then give it to you. When we could have just sent it to you and kept it moving.
So he just told me the email address that it's linked to, and the email is actually linked to Nick, who I do nothing but Niners with. It's linked to his it's linked to his PayPal because I didn't use PayPal.
Yep. Well, at least we're getting down to the bottom of it.
Well, I don't know why they would even let that happen.
Oh no, they don't. There's Venmo, because again, the apartment with Unc, I used to Venmo him my half of the rent, and he would walk down to the office and he would pay it, write a check or whatever. I guess he walked down and dropped the check in the mailbox. And there were a few times there's an account on Venmo that it's like the exact same name or something like that, and like he would let me know, hey, Duck, like that ain't me. Like, see if you can get that back. And like, luckily, like I think that account is inactive, but it's like I think it's like Uncle his name,
Right.
or it's just his name. It's one of the two. But I think it was. I think I made it out to like his name, and like Venmo would initially accept the payment and then reject it somehow, or I could request a refund, and it would get sent back before Venmo caught it. But yeah, luckily it wasn't associated with anybody.
Yeah, usually I just ask the person, hey, what's your preference on, a lot of little stuff. Hey, my daughter's having a raffle at school. Hey, how do you want it? And they tell me, and I give it to them. I don't just, because I sent it to you before, I'll send it to you again. Like, I'm like, hey, I'm sending this money via such and such, and I wait for them to respond before I send that money.
Jerry said that he put side bets on people who are playing left, right, center. Like once he's out, so they start a side pot of who's going to win. That's pretty cool. Throw a random quarter in out of your account. I like that. All right, so I apologize. The email address that he actually sent isn't even the one. It says mike@nbniners.com. My email address was mike@nothingbutniners.com. I didn't want anything abbreviated. I wanted people to see nothing but Niners. So that's not even Nick's account. I have no idea. That's a fake account.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's yeah.
So he must have sent that to like my old six. I don't even know what phone number he sent it to. I have no idea. Oh well. He said he could dispute it.
How does it feel to be to a point where people are imitating you in an attempt to scam other people out of money?
That's not new.
Excuse me.
So
I ain't never been there, so I wouldn't know.
Right.
I've never had like not that I've ever seen like a fake IG page or actually that's not true. I did see an NB Niners IG page and it wasn't us, but I don't think they were selling anything. I don't know. I just told people to block them and report them. It's not us. So
right.
But yeah.
How do you I don't think you give your preference on, receiving money or payment.
Just ask me. Like, hey, I got the money. How do you want me to send it to you? That's all. Like I didn't even send it to him on PayPal. He had me send it to him on I think it was like Zelle or he says Venmo or PayPal. I said I have all of them except I don't use PayPal. Let me see which one so I can make sure I send it to you the right way. So I sent it to him on Venmo. It's all good. I'm not
Like
gonna
if
worry
I'm
about it.
sending especially a large sum of money, I need, hey bro, or
And
whoever.
that might be why he did it the way he did because it wasn't a lot of money. I told you it wasn't. It wasn't even 50. It was less than $50.
Oh yeah, that's something that you can chalk up as a loss and like, all right, it is what it is. It's not like it, $1,000. Like, nah, bro, you you need to find out who that was sent to, dispute that.
He said he could dispute it, so I just told him go ahead and do that. If he get it back, and cool. If not, I'm not worried about it. All right, let's get to some topics, man. We got some more fun stuff. Do y'all want to go with anything in particular? Oh, I texted y'all when I was in the shower. Exciting was what I said. All right, now, Duck, you're not in a relationship, but I'm sure y'all have been dealing with somebody. G, you're married. I'm married. And there's probably an ex that your significant other just doesn't like. Do you have one, first of all? Can you think of someone that you're involved with who knows of someone from your past that they just don't like? I don't need names and nothing like that, but I need y'all to make sure y'all can get in this place.
I don't think there's anyone that Linda doesn't like.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you
I
can't.
don't. Nah,
Well then, Duck,
yeah,
were you ever involved with somebody who just like a particular ex
Just,
or not even an ex? It could be a female friend that
I
they
was
just
about to
don't
say,
like.
I was about to say, Mike, you are aware of the situation with my most recent ex and the friend. Uh, yeah.
Okay. Now, let's say you and that significant other are out somewhere. You see the person that she doesn't like come in. Let's say y'all out at like a hookah lounge. I don't know. You just out somewhere. And then this person comes in and you know that your significant other just flat out doesn't like him. Like it might be a problem, like if that person says something to you. So you know what? Like I'm gonna try to avoid this situation. What do you do in that scenario? I'm not even gonna give you all no scenarios. What do you do? Let's start with Duck because I got Gio on mute right now, so that way the background noise ain't there. Duck, what do you do?
This is tough. This is tough. But being who I'm not going to ignore somebody I know. I'm not going to ignore somebody I know. Now, the only question that I'm wrestling with right now is, do I say something to the significant other beforehand? Hey, I see so and so over there. I'm about to go say what's up. I'll be right back.
Oh, you gonna go speak?
I'm debate. Oh yes, absolutely. I'm not going to ignore. Yeah,
You don't like your balls. I would not.
no, but he did say he was a friend, and if it's a good friend, then regardless of the situation, I'm like, hey, look,
Hey,
so and
this
so over
woman,
there, I'll be right back.
this woman used to come over to the house and kick it with us, like, and because I will say this too, right? So while we were together, it was a point of contention as far as like, yo, your issue with her is not real; it's imagined. And I know a lot of women don't like that. Like that's whatever. What I don't know what the term is for it, but that was genuinely how I felt, and still how I feel to this day about my ex's feelings toward this woman. So, so it's just like, yeah, I'm still gonna say hi because you're blowing this out of proportion.
See, now I feel like that's too much. G, you please take yourself off mute. You gonna go speak to the person knowing your wife got a problem with her?
Should I take it? Should I tell y'all how I took this semi stuff?
No, I'm looking at it from Doug's perspective. If it's a friend of mine that you don't like that's still my. Hold on, are you still friends with that person? Or
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
no.
The friendship never ended.
I want y'all to make it an X. I want y'all to make it an X because it's different than being friends with somebody. I
Okay,
think.
if it's an ex, I'm not gonna go out of my way to speak. Like even if we're like cool, but if we cross paths, I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Right in front of the wife, knowing the wife don't like her. I think y'all are full of shit.
So
I think y'all are
no.
lying
I
right
do have
now.
one more. I do have one more example that can apply. Although, so my ex never met this other woman. but she was aware of her because my ex and I were friends for a long time. So while I was talking to this other chick, I was telling her about her. And when I got the house out here, moved out here. So this friend, well, she's another ex, right? The other woman, she lives like 2 towns over. And I said to my lady, hey, we should invite her over, right? Like, just have her over. Haven't seen her. She was like, no,
that she didn't like her?
Huh?
You knew she didn't like her and said we should invite her?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time. She had
Oh.
literally never come up while we were together to that point. Once I got the spot out, like, it never crossed my mind that, like, you know, back when we were still just friends and I was involved with this woman, that you might have developed feelings that made you feel some type of way about her. Never crossed my mind. We did not invite that friend over because my ex went off when I told her when I made that suggestion. And then given Mike's hypothetical scenario, I would actually not get up and hope that the former one didn't see me at all, because then I don't even need to mention it. I don't. Nothing. If she does come over, say hi, how are you? Hey, this is my lady. Keep it moving. That's it. Right? Like,
Yeah.
Keep it cordial real quick, and then when she leaves, oh yeah, that was such and such. I didn't know she was coming over here either. We was just here having dinner, whatever.
See, and G, you would do the same thing you saying? Like, you would just wait for her to come up to you?
Yeah, like I wouldn't. And like, if I saw her and I'm like, all right, I'm acting like I didn't see her. Like, she would have to see me and get up to come over to me. Then I'm like, in my head, like, all right, cool. Hey, nothing I can do. Like, I ain't gonna be like, get out of here. Like, especially if it's something petty, like Doug said, if it's something imaginary, you don't like them for an imaginary whatever. Like, and women tend to be like that.
Oh, well, she probably used to like you.
Yeah.
That was okay. The original woman. That was one of several imaginary things. Well, I say imagine that one might have had a little bit of credence, but I don't know. I've never had that conversation with old girl, and I don't know.
I know me. Personally, I'm just ready to go. We smoked. If we had a hookah, I got hookahs at home. Let's just go. I don't even want to be here. I'm hoping that nobody sees nobody. I just want to go. It's just no need for the friction or the problem. So I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about it was the Joe Budden podcast, and his co-host Melissa Ford used to date Flo Rida. And he was in town recently for a 50 Cent concert, and she happened to be in a venue where he was at. And they said, oh, shout out to Flo Rida in the building, blah, 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 blah. And she said she never saw him, but that just got me thinking, because I was listening to the podcast in the shower. So that's why I text y'all while I was in there saying exciting. Like, not exciting, but exciting. Like, you saw your ex. So I was just wondering how y'all would do it. But me, I'm just ready to go. I don't want to say hi. I don't want to get nobody upset. I like my balls. I don't want, my wife denies it, but I think she hits me in my sleep. I can't prove it, but I wake up sometimes with sore ribs or a sore arm. It's got to be her.
You know what? Yeah. I will say too. So I've been thinking about women that I'm still cordial with, but there is one that I'm also contentious with, right? Like the ex that y'all know from years ago, and the most recent ex from about a year and a half ago or whatever, right? Like, when I explained it to my most recent ex, everything that went down with the previous one, she was livid. She thought about hitting her up in that moment. And I was like, yo, it's not worth it. I was like, I haven't talked to her in years. Even if I see her, I'm not going to talk to her. Like, it's not worth it. Like, it's a lot of lies were discovered and known in the moment. And like, this is just another one that I didn't know what you knew. I knew what you didn't know. I knew some of what you didn't know. And it just seemed like whatever. So, but yeah, no, in that situation, I think I would take a similar approach to Mike. If it's an ex that like, yo, I don't even fuck with you like that anymore, I'm not going to pretend I do. Matter of fact, that's what happened. She went to our cousin's engagement party years ago.
Yep.
And when they walked in the room, I think she tried to give me a hug, and I was like, no, get away from me. You don't need to introduce me to your man. I'm not interested. Like, yo, no offense to you, big fella, but.
And she's a mutual friend of all three of us. You know who he's talking about, right, G?
Yeah. So what if you saw? We'll reverse it. you saw you saw your lady's ex. Like, do you have any problem with any of her exes other than the one that we probably can think of?
No, the two exes of my wife that I know, well, I know of 3. 2 of them I know personally, but she says one of them was from like she was 13 or something like that. This is the one I told you my mother-in-law like insulted me like, oh, Melissa should have married him. I haven't told y'all that story.
No.
Oh no. She said he could have been my son-in-law. Something along those lines. She said it had something to do with Melissa marrying him instead of me. Like she said, it was a joke. At least I assumed it was a joke. But he's a cool dude. Y'all know the cigar parlor I used to work at? His family owns the pizza shop right next door. So I used to go in there all the time. So I don't think he even knows who I am to Melissa. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But so I don't have any problem of the 3 exes of hers that I know of. I don't have a problem with any of them. So that wouldn't bother me if they came up to speak like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like, and just keep it moving. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't think I have that level of, I hate to say insecurity, but I don't have that level of whatever it is. Whatever that word would be to make it apply, like where I have a problem with them, I don't have that.
Right. That's the thing. I think women expect men to get jealous, and it's like, nah, I'm not jealous. Like, you're with me. Like, why would I care? And it's just if that situation is reversed, it is what it is. Like, I'm not having my time disrupted, and especially if y'all are cordial, nah, I'm not going out of my way for none of that.
G?
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm like, oh, okay. Now there is an ex that my wife has a problem with. Like, if we were out and she saw him, then she would, be like, type of thing. But I don't have a problem.
All right, cool. I got something here. Have y'all ever taken an Uber before?
No.
Of course.
We didn't do this on the last show, did we?
You've never taken an Uber? Have you taken a Lyft?
A taxi?
I haven't.
You've never taken a car service ever?
Nope.
This goes back to my contention with you about you not traveling anywhere ever.
And I knew that's what he was about to say. No, because even when we went to Vegas back in what was that, 2019? We had a rental car.
Don't matter.
All right, well, I'm gonna share the screen. So it claims I don't have a backstory. It's a short clip. But supposedly this was an Uber driver who saw somebody and decided to take care of some unfinished business. I don't know how true this is. I don't know how real this is, but I want y'all to see this. Check this out. This is supposed now that the caption says Uber driver. Hold on, let me make it small. It says Uber driver turns thief into pothole filler.
I think I saw this.
I want to know how y'all would react if this is what's happening in your Uber. Can y'all see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He pointing them out. The guy in the back seat pointing them out. There's somebody running. He drove over the curb. Look, back over the curb.
Oh my God.
Look, he gonna get him. Look. Boom.
Yo, that's
yo.
There you go, right there.
What would y'all do if you were in an Uber?
Yo, first of all, to me, it feel like we're in another country. So if I'm in another country, I ain't saying nothing. Soon as the car comes to a stop, I'm out.
That is crazy. That's crazy. Steve, yeah. So, it's still playing in my background. I'm sorry. Let me stop the video. So, Steve, right now the plan is to go to the Steelers game, week 1, and the Cowboys game. I think that's in October. Or it's the home game against the Cowboys. Those are the ones that I'm looking at right now. Those are the games I'm looking at. Now, I need to get y'all reactions. What are y'all doing in that situation? Let's do this screen again. We'll start with Duck and then we'll go over to G.
I don't even know. Because especially like G said, I'm under the impression that's another country. Although for all we know, that could just be Miami.
I was just thinking that might be Miami.
Miami, bro.
Which, by the way, is feeling like a country all on its own. So let's Miami is going wild right now. So
oh man. But no, I don't know. I don't. I have no words. I think I'd just be amazed. I might hop out and check on dude. So if the Uber driver hops out after, I would like to see what happens after the video ends. Right. If he hops out after to like finish the job or whatever, I'll get out and watch. Like I already came this far. I'm not going to stop.
He might want to clean. He might want to tie up loose ends. You might be the other loose end.
Nah, you clearly got a grudge against this man. You knew I was going to see this when you decided to do it. I'm not a loose end. You knew I was going to see it. I was in your back seat.
Not to mention the guy in the back pointed out like, "There you go, right there."
Right. He in it with him.
So maybe he witnessed the crime and he was trying to help.
Maybe it was a Uber, one of the shared ones, and he hopped out. Dude hopped out without tipping, or he canceled the ride and hopped out close to his stop. And the other passenger was like, "Yo, I'll help you find him." And then they didn't know how far it was going to go. I don't know.
So that page, if you guys want to watch it, it's called Robbery Fail on Twitter. And their whole timeline and stuff like that, where people were trying to, like a couple weeks ago, there was the, I don't know if y'all saw, this guy walked into a nail parlor. It's a nail salon. And he has a mask on and he's got his hand in a bag. Everybody give me your money. Everybody give me the money. And the people sitting down just looking at him like, come on, give me the money. Can y'all hear me? Yo. And then he walks over to the cashier, give me the money. And nobody's saying a word. One woman gets up and goes outside, give me the money. And you can hear him like yelling at her in the door, I don't have no cash. Like, what? And then he just walks away. So that whole timeline is just filled of like failed robberies. It's pretty entertaining. It's pretty entertaining. All right. So that was that one. I do have another one I want y'all to go through. Now, this one's going to be big. This one I feel like we need to really discuss. I'm going to mute G while we pull it up. And then we're going to go into it. All right. So let me, shoot. My bad. I messed up my page here. Sorry, guys. Get that back up there. Let's put G on mute. All right. So we remember the Keke Palmer Usher situation, right? Y'all are y'all familiar with that?
Not off the top of my head, no.
G, do you remember what happened with Keke Palmer and Usher?
Vaguely, but go ahead and do a recap.
Let me do a recap before I play the video. So Keke Palmer's in Vegas. Usher has he has a, what's it called out there?
Yes, I remember. Now that you meant, as soon as you said
Regency.
Yes. No, is it not called Regency? Residency. He has a residency in Vegas. So he does all these shows, and if there's certain seats that you sit in and you become a part of the show. They usually try to put celebrities there. Usher walks up and sings there goes my baby. Like that. He sings that, so he sings that to the girl that's there. All right. Joe Budden and his girl were featured on it. There's Joe's baby, whatever, right? Like it's all that. So Keke Palmer goes with her girlfriends. But she's got on like this like see-through dress. Everything is covered up in black, but like the legs you could see. She had like a little like G-string type thing in the back. So when you turn around, you can see her butt cheeks. And she's in the show. The video comes out and her boyfriend tweets something along the lines of, I can't believe somebody's mother is dressed like that in public. He didn't say anything about Usher, didn't say anything about what she was doing. She was getting backlash online. He was getting killed online for being immature and insecure. It was like a big deal when it happened. Okay. I didn't think Keke did anything wrong. I wasn't offended by what she was wearing, but different people have different sensitivities for their lady. Right. So it's whatever. This video came out today. I'm going to blow this up so y'all can see it. But basically, Usher announces his new single, Boyfriend, along with the video starring Keke Palmer, releasing tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to play it because they do a slight clip in there with the audio, and I don't want us to get flagged. But you made a big deal online about your girl being at Usher's show. Now she's in Usher's whole video. He's dropping a video tomorrow, and it's called Boyfriend. This whole song is dedicated to making my man jealous. Like I feel like Usher's petty enough to do this. I need to know how y'all feel about this. This is high level disrespect. This is high level petty at its finest. Like, what do y'all think about this, man?
I love it. I absolutely love.
I love it, and he's capitalizing on the drama, the whole thing. So perfect timing.
Absolutely love everything about it.
I'm not much of a music video guy. I'm looking for this video. I want to see.
The thing is, that's been recurring. It's just this is the biggest one because it's Keke Palmer. But wasn't there a dude broke up with his girlfriend for because Usher danced with her?
Probably.
Wasn't that a thing that happened before this, the Keke Palmer thing?
I know there was I forget what the young lady's name. It was like Sweetie or one of the what's it called? The JT and what's her name? Miami. What's the name of their group? Hot Girls. City Girls. I think one of them maybe. But she was there with her boyfriend who was a basketball player. And when Usher walked up, she sat on her man's lap. And so normally Usher puts the mic in front of the girl so she could sing the certain notes, and she just said the word. So it was like baby. Instead of singing the word baby. You know what I mean? Like she was like baby. She didn't sing it. Like, and so like they having fun with it. I am sure Usher has made some people upset.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure some women have had their boyfriends break up with them. Like, it's not like Usher's getting their number or nothing like that in the moment and taking them out on dates. It's just part of the show.
Maybe not in the moment, but Usher can do what he wants. I think we all know. He's Usher, bro. If he want the number, he getting it. If he want her in the back room, she's joining him in the back room after the show.
I mean, I don't know about you. My woman ain't doing that because I'm that dude. Usher ain't got nothing on me except a couple $100 million.
That's something. That's a lot of something.
I wanted to get y'all's opinion on the petty, and I want to get y'all's opinion on if your girl went to Vegas, went to the show, and then you see this online before she even calls you and tells you what happened. Because people get the recorders, they know what's happening, and they post it immediately. She might still be at the show and didn't tell you what happened yet because she's enjoying the rest of the show. And then all of a sudden, you see your girl there. You see what's happening with your girl. So, G, you go first because your microphone is insisting.
Honestly, I know my woman isn't that kind of woman, that person. So I'm like, hey, once in a lifetime opportunity. She having fun with it. Enjoy it. Wasn't nothing, it was harmless fun, in my opinion. I might feel a little type of way, but ultimately, the logical part of me would probably prevail. I'm like, you know what, babe? Hey, did you get the nigga number? Hey, get some money out there, nigga. Something.
That's where my mind went. Like, if something come out of this, just see if we could get a connect, something. Some money, something.
That's it.
Usher grinded on you for us, babe. Make that work. That's what.
So y'all not jealous at all? Nah. Okay. Nah. Now here's the spin. So you see the video, and it's only got like 12,000 views, but somebody sent it to you because they were like, "Oh, gee, ain't this your girl? Duck, ain't this your girl?" Now, it's not completely viral yet. 12,000 views is nothing. But then you wake up the next morning.
It's about to be viral.
Exactly. You wake up the next morning, your mom is calling you saying, "Did you know your girl was out there grinding all over this man?" Now you got family members hitting you up. You got friends you ain't talked to in mad long hit you. "Yo, is this your girl? Ain't this your lady?" Like, now all of a sudden, there's a lot more negative public pressure on you. Do your feelings change? Do you get tired of dealing with it? Because viral is forever.
Here's where I'm going to have to step in and say that I was going with the scenario before, but honestly, I doubt that my lady is at an Usher concert without me. If I'm even, I doubt that that's happening. And Usher ain't just stepping in with me there because I'm aware of the viral possibility.
Duck sliding in like.
But you're not there. You can't. I'm taking you out of the scenario. She was
It's
there with her girlfriend.
It's girls' night.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this doesn't have a chance to blow up. It's never gonna be a thing. You saying with the girlfriends though, a girl's trip to Vegas, that's crazy.
Why? But you know what though? A lot of go ahead, Doug. I feel like me making a big deal out of it would make it blow up that much more. Whereas some stuff you could be like, you know what? If they didn't act that way or said that, it would have just been over. Like certain arguments, like, yo, if you would have just.
It's literally, to G's point, it's literally what just happened with Keke Palmer and her boyfriend, right? If he doesn't tweet whatever, about what, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't become as bad. And honestly, because it was another celebrity, that just would have been, people would have thought that was a part of the show. Oh, this
Yeah.
one was actually orchestrated. You know what I mean? So,
But now he the one that lit the whole flame. So if you would just shut up.
Or you don't even have to shut up. Yo, did y'all see my girl? She looked good. That puts the whole kibosh on it right then and there.
Yep, that flips it on
He
its
wanted
head.
to talk about that she shouldn't have been wearing that and blah 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 blah. It was just like, bro, what are you doing? You making yourself look insecure. It's crazy. I think Bosa's deal gets done before the last preseason game. I don't think it gets done this week. I think it gets done before the last preseason
Let
game.
me ask you something on this. Do you think I'm convinced that Burns is waiting on Bosa? Do you think Bosa is waiting on Burns' deal to make sure he gets? Because I think Bosa is easily getting paid more, no matter what. I just think that Burns wants to see if this is where Bosa is. I'm not trying to come too much lower. I think that's what, because we've offered Burns a contract, and apparently the sides are too far apart. I just think Burns is like, yo, whatever he gets, I want to be in the ballpark. I don't need to beat him, but I want to be in the ballpark, because Bosa's definitely been more productive.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think Burns is gonna get it. Let's just say Bosa comes in at $30 million a year. I don't think Burns is gonna get $24 million a year. I think it's that big of a difference.
People are saying that Burns deserves at least 25.
Right, that's what they're saying because of what the market is. But I'm just giving you a scale. I think Bosa is about to be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. Like, period. I don't remember what Aaron Donald is getting. I think it's close to $30 million a year.
But that was like 2 years ago, wasn't it? When did after the Super Bowl win? Yeah. So it's Bosa's time now. So
right. And so I think Bosa's going to come in a little over 30, but I don't think Burns is going to get. I don't think Burns is going to get close. Well, I'm saying close. Maybe if Bosa gets 31, 30.5 or whatever it is, Burns might get 25, 26. But I don't think they're going to do Burns' contract based off of what Bosa gets. I think your front office already knows Bosa's going to be the top of the market.
For sure. I'm not even talking about our front office. Our front office is extending an offer. I think Burns' camp is waiting to see what Bosa gets to say, hey, we don't need that, but we don't want to be too far behind. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
My point is Bosa's contract has nothing to do with Burns because it's not going to make a difference.
Right.
They're not going to give Burns what Darnold got because he's not that much of a disruptor. So it's
Donald. You mean you said Darnold? In my head.
I'm saying Darnold because Sam Darnold's on the team now, and it's just rolling off my tongue. I apologize, but he's not even going to get what Donald got. So Bosa's team don't even care. They're looking at who's the highest paid defender. Okay, we're beating that. That's their negotiating thing. We're beating whoever the highest.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think
I saw that floated out on some social media that Burns' group is waiting on Bosa's deal. Or no, I saw somebody say that Bosa was waiting on the Burns deal, and I was like, I don't see why he would. That literally what you're saying is why I was like, I don't see why he would. He's been way more productive. So and not that Burns has been bad. Burns has been great.
No, he's good. He's good.
Not to that level.
So since we're on football now, preseason officially started, not the Hall of Fame game or anything like that. Preseason is here. I want to get your guys' thoughts on how your teams did. Like, did you get to watch the game? Did you look at your rookies or did you look at your backup quarterbacks and all that stuff? What were your guys' thoughts? We don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but what were your guys' thoughts on it? We'll start with G.
I unfortunately didn't get to catch any of my game, and I was so bummed about it because I really wanted to see Jordan Love. But there's 2 more preseason games, so I'm hoping I can go ahead and catch one. We were running around trying to get stuff together for game night Saturday. We were out way longer than I thought we were. You know, sometimes in your mind, like, okay, maybe an hour, hour and a half at tops. No. No. So hopefully
it turned into one more game. Okay, just the last one. Okay, one more. Like it was one of those kind of nights. So I get it.
Yeah, that's what you want a game night. I will say, like, if that's how the game night is going, that's a sign of a good game night. So,
all right,
we were setting up. We went the Friday. Our game was Friday, but right after work, we went to go do some run around. Had to pick up my pants for this Sweet 16 party. We had to go get groceries for game night. So by the time I got home, it was, kind of late. So I didn't get. So what?
Didn't we
No,
establish?
it was a Sweet 16, not a 15 or a quinceañera like we thought. She looked at the invitation. She said, "Oh, babe, it is a Sweet 16, so it wasn't a quinceañera."
I thought first off, the offensive line needs to play better to give Bryce a
So Duck is a Panthers fan. For those of you watching who may not know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
G is a Packers fan. He said Jordan Love, but for those of you who don't know, it's a Packers player. G is a Packers fan. Go ahead.
Right. So the Panthers just drafted Bryce Young, number 1 overall. I hope the whole football world would know that. But anyway, in general, I thought he looked good. Went through his reads. When he had the little bit of time he had, he could clearly feel the pressure. For me, more than anything, with Bryce, it was good to see him get hit by NFL defenders and bounce right back up. And even if he was bothered, don't show it, right? And he didn't show anything. He didn't seem bothered. So that was a very good, encouraging sign for me. O-line needs to give him more time. Beyond that, I know we had one of last year's rookies stepped up. Amari Barno looked good. He actually looked like he bulked up a little bit. So that's exciting because I think he ran the fastest 40 time of any D end ever at the combine last year. But it's like, dude, you're like 235 pounds. Like you got no business playing D end. But it looks like he managed to bulk up some and keep that speed. So that's encouraging to see. And then otherwise, you didn't really get a good look at everybody, but it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I saw, even though we got shut out. But it was the signs were there, and that Jets defense, even with them not scheming, that defensive line is crazy, and they just got after both of our quarterbacks, and our O-line didn't do them any favors. So O-line needs to step up more than anything. That's my biggest takeaway.
Gotcha. I am doing a Nothing But Niners show, so I'm not going to dive too deep into this. But I will say that everybody in the 49ers a lot of people in the 49ers fan base were looking for the backup battle, the quarterback position, Trey Lance or Sam Darnold. But I'll talk on that on the Nothing But Niners channel. Our backup linemen on both sides. So there was no starting offensive lineman. There were no starting defensive linemen. No Eric Armstead, no Javon Hargrave, no Nick Bosa, who's obviously he hasn't reported to camp yet or anything like that. No Drake Jackson. He was out because he has a tweak injury. So our whole starting front line, not a single one of them played. We had Kinlaw out there. I think our defensive line looked just as bad as the offensive line. I didn't see any push, any pressure on the quarterbacks at all. We did get a sack from Cleveland Farrell. But normally when guys play against their former teams, they usually make a big play. So Cleveland Farrell was a former first-round pick for the Raiders. That's who the 49ers played against. I kind of expected him to make a play, tip ball or something like that. He did just that, the one play, kind of one and done, got out of there. Showed some giddy up too. I will say I was surprised by his athleticism, even though that's why he was drafted. And I saw some positive things from our secondary, our backup guys. There were some whiffs. Also, let me be very clear. There's plenty of positives, plenty of negatives, but it was just preseason 1. And I'm not going to take a lot from this game, mainly because we had the 2 joint practices prior to the game. If you guys pay attention to preseason football, especially if your team does a joint practice, the following preseason game, both coaches just want to get out of there healthy. They don't have anybody going 100%. They don't have anybody, really trying. They're not scheming anything. They do all the scheming and stuff like that and true evaluating during the joint practices. So both teams really just want to get out of there. Both teams just want to get out of there without any major injuries, and they did that. Knock on wood. Everybody got out healthy. There was one player that was down for a second, which delayed the next play. It was on the Raiders team, but he did get up and walk off on his own. So no major injuries for any team, and I think that was a success for the preseason game. But the next one we have is up against the Broncos on Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to get to see that because I have a family function on Saturday night, so I don't know if I'm going to get to see it. What time is the game, actually? If it's early, I'll get to see it, but most Saturday games are late. Yeah, it says 8:30 Eastern, so I'm probably not going to get to see it, which is going to suck. But so I was I just put it as a neutral. It wasn't positive. It wasn't negative because I wasn't expecting anything. I did a pregame show, and I was the only person in the chat and on the live that actually picked the Niners to lose. I just didn't expect anything from these teams. I knew how bad our trenches were, all the reports from practice. The joint practices were that both lines were getting dominated all game. I expected that to carry over. They're actually trying during the practices, and you're getting dominated. Imagine when the coaches tell you, all right, let's just get out of here healthy. They weren't going to do shit. So it went exactly how I went. Forget the score. Final score is irrelevant. I actually predicted the Raiders to get 27 points. I thought the Niners would get like 20, 21, 22. We got one touchdown. We were in scoring position multiple times. We missed 2 field goals, and we went for it twice on 4th downs already in field goal range. So they would have had more points if all the field goals were made and stuff like that, but they worked on the 4th down package and stuff like that. So the score is really irrelevant. And the Raiders had 27 points, but then they had a turnover and they scored on it. Not on the turnover, but they scored quickly after because they were already in their own territory. They got the touchdown. So I was 1 touchdown off with the Raiders score prediction. So it kind of went how I expected it to go. And like I said, I'll break down the quarterbacks later on. I'll do that whole breakdown later. All right, let me go ahead.
I was just going to add, because you mentioned the joint practices. The Panthers had one with the Jets, and the second one got canceled because of the weather. And by all accounts, apparently Bryce Young looked really good. Apparently, our first team offense looked good against their defense, and our first team defense looked good against their offense, their first team offense in that one joint practice. But with the offense against the defense, they said that Sauce Gardner didn't play. He sat out that practice. So right. I also think that's important to highlight too. So
okay, that makes a difference. Now we're talking about football. Let's transition to another sport. G sport is basketball. And this one is going to hit home for G. I'm going to surprise him with this. I don't think I told him I was going to do this, but I talked about video games initiating beef in sports. So I'm going to share the screen here. I want y'all to see this. This is a tweet from Daily Loud. It says 2K24 preview has hold on. I feel like I'm yelling. Sorry, G. I got to mute you again. There you go, G. If you just like snap your finger or something, it'll cancel out the. So what's happening is when you don't talk, your microphone is picking up any noise it can find. So when it doesn't hear you, now it's picking up the fan and stuff. So that's what that is. All right. So he went on mute. It says 2K24 preview has Jordan Poole calling for an ISO against Draymond Green. So here's the video. Here's a little clip of it right here. It's just him dribbling and calling him out to center court. Like, come on, come get this work. They show the crossover, but then they switch and they go to Golden State. That was Steph Curry right there at the end. Video games initiating. Oh shit, there's music. I didn't know there was music. My bad. Flagged. Okay. But yeah. So my bad. I didn't know that was gonna play that audio. What do you guys think about previews hyping up the game release with something as so? G, explain to everybody why that was significant with Jordan Poole calling out Draymond Green. So there's a story.
All right, so in practice of the 2022 season, 23 season, 22-23 season, Jordan Poole and Draymond Green got into it during the practice. Some hands were thrown, and Jordan Poole was the recipient of getting knocked out. So that's why that clip Mike just saw was very significant because they're pretty much, reigniting it a little bit. And I kind of love it because NBA players will do it too. They'll, ignite little beefs on Twitter and social media. So now it's kind of cool that, other people are kind of getting in on it as well. Not to mention, Jordan Poole's father actually was talking to Draymond Green that, he's calling him out about it and whatnot. So that's probably what reignited it.
What does Dad say?
I can't remember.
Was it on Twitter or was it in person?
It was on Twitter. It was like a Twitter back where they said like maybe 3, tweets or whatever. But yeah, I don't even remember exactly what it was. But
did he call him out his name? Did he say you a sucker for that or something like that? Anything like that?
Somewhere along the lines of that. I don't remember the exact dialogue, but it was somewhere along the lines of that. So, and it didn't really go anywhere from there. So that's probably why whoever posted that clip, let's go ahead and post this up.
See, with basketball, it's so different, right? The thing with basketball is you can call for an ISO. You can do it one-on-one. If you know players have beef, they don't have to be the same position. They don't have to be, you know what I mean? Like for the longest time, I kept hearing about this feud between Chris Paul and Steph Curry. right? But now they teammates. Now they got to act like, oh, I do like this guy. Like, I think that shit is awkward as hell, but I think it's great because basketball is 5-on-5. Anybody can be guarding anybody at any given moment. They call different design plays and stuff like that. I think it's cool. How would an MLB or an NFL promote something like that? You can only do team versus team, like to do a rivalry, right? Like Duck, like G, like how would a team how would they do something like that?
Certain positions, like if you got a corner and wide receiver matchup, you know what I mean, like that.
So OBJ and Josh Norman,
right?
Yeah, because wasn't Josh Norman and
Josh
somebody
Norman,
going?
Josh Norman would tell you that Julio Jones was his bigger adversary.
But no, who was it that was? It was a phone commercial. I think it was Samsung. Des Bryant and Josh Norman. Didn't they have a commercial going back and forth with each other? Des Bryant drew a blanket. Was drawing the blanket. No, it was somebody. It was a receiver and Josh Norman. They were going at it, but it was a phone commercial. I think it was Des Bryant.
It says, yeah, I typed it up. Oh, let me see. I wonder if there's any music here. I'm gonna play it. Samsung Note 8 Des Bryant TV commercial. It popped right up. So let me I'm gonna wait for this ad to end here. Of course, it's a long ass ad. Let me mute it. And then when it's done, I'll actually share. I've never seen this commercial before. So this is a cool way to promote. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I like this idea. I can get down with this. Okay.
And the other one was Malcolm Butler and Antonio Brown for the pizza. I think it was Domino's or Pizza Hut commercial.
I don't know how you remember all this.
Yeah, but well, never mind. All right, here we go. Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
I have it muted because I didn't know if it was
things
muted.
are heating up between you and Josh Norman again. What do you have to say about that?
I'm going to take the high road here. No comment.
But you just posted this drawing of Josh Norman riding a buck-tooth snail. Are you saying he's slow?
I would never say that.
Des, what about this drawing you just posted of Josh as a little tiny blanket? Are you saying he can't cover you?
Your words, not mine.
Really? Because it's literally signed by Des Bryant.
I do vaguely remember that commercial, actually.
I don't remember
I saw it
at all.
once.
I don't remember that commercial at all. Good call back there, G.
I think I saw it once. That's funny.
But see, you can't. But now I get that, right? You hyping up the phone, you hyping up the players, and I'm sure they were endorsed both by Samsung. That's why they were able to use his image and likeness and all that stuff. But how do you do it for a video game? See, in 2K, they can do that.
Right.
That was pretty dope. And it was just him dribbling the ball, doing this, and they showed the back of Draymond. That's dope. You can't do that in football unless you show them guarding each other down the field. Is that it? That's
pretty much it. A receiver, Moss and a cornerback, or
to me, it's
or somebody getting tackled, trucked. Shoot, what if they showed Derrick Henry running over Josh Norman or something like that in the video game? That would be hilarious.
Yeah. What were you going to say? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, G. I'm sorry.
So there's ways around it, even if you took it back from old highlights of the previous season, somebody the biggest highlights of that season, put it in video form, advertising in the latest Madden. There's a way to do it. Now you about to put a chip on somebody's shoulder. I don't like how I was on the end of the, getting mossed or getting, ran over.
You don't think about it often, but back in the day, the best running backs in the league utilized a very effective stiff arm. And there were some stiff arms. Now I'm thinking of a Stewart run. I want to say it was against the Saints where he just boom, put that man in the dirt. You could definitely do a good stiff arm, a running back on a DB or some linebackers, depending on the running back.
Okay. All right. Did anybody else have a topic that they wanted to bring up? I do have one more. Oh, that's right. Russell Wilson with the Niners defense on skates. Yeah, Russell Wilson was I remember this because obviously, right? But this was back in 11, 12, or 13 where he shook the whole defensive line for the 49ers for that Madden commercial. That actually pissed me. Now I got to find it. See, that pissed me off. That actually pissed me off. But G, did you have another topic that you wanted to bring up?
I do have one, and it's a pretty serious one because it happened today.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So no, go ahead. Bring up the video. That way, we're not kind of going back and forth between the two.
I got to see if I can find that. I don't know if that. See, the problem is when you type in Russell Wilson 49ers Madden, you're going to get people like gameplay. So let me see if I can find commercial. Let me put the word commercial in there. Let me see if that helps it come up faster. See, this is the video of him and Colin Kaepernick playing, but that's not it. It was something else. That's all right, because now all his Subway commercials and shit are popping. And Russell Wilson's so corny. I can't. It's all right. Oh, is this one it? Yeah. Oh, this wasn't even a game commercial. This was a real. Oh, hell no. That's right. I remember this now. It was a Nike commercial. Oh, it was a Nike commercial. Okay, here we go. I got y'all. Here we go. I'm going to share it real quick so y'all can see it. This pissed me off. I remember when this happened. And the worst part, well, never mind. I ain't going to say what I was going to say. It was the whole defense, too. The whole defense. Like, he just ran away from everybody. All right. Can y'all see it? I'm going to go full screen if y'all can see it. You ready?
Yeah. Remove the comment, Mike.
Oh yeah, I remember this commercial.
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
The disrespect is real. How he take the same person twice? This is trash. Oh my God, the music! I gotta mute this. Oh no! This is disrespectful as funk. How many number 40s on defense are there? Nah, bro. Nope. I don't like. And then he walk into the end zone. Nah, bro. This was super disrespectful.
That's funny.
That's disrespectful. All
Like,
right. So,
I always wonder, how do you get clearance or permission to involve another team? Like, did they reach out to the 49ers and say, hey, can we use your players, your team's colors?
If anything, they probably just need the NFL's permission.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. You just use the NFL. You just use the NFL as long as you got their permission and you endorse Russell Wilson. You could use the colors and the logo and just do what you need to do. Super disrespectful.
Dang.
All right. Let's get to the serious topic because I don't want to talk about that no more.
You got Mike in a serious mood. Way to go.
All right. So my daughter's mom texted me today and said, hey, can we talk about your daughter? I have anxiety, so I always go to the worst thing imaginable. I don't know what that'll. Something along the lines of that. But she texted her back, hey, call me when you get a minute. And this is a conversation we had before. It was about my daughter, getting older and helping her mom out fiscally, with some bills. So financially. And my daughter just started a new job. She had a little job at the mall, Forever 21, but now she's working full time. She got a full-time job. And I told her, I said, hey, look, when she first gets paid, let her spend that however she wants. Let her just get it out of her system. Sit her down at the table, say, hey, baby, this is what, it takes for us to live here, and this is how we survive each month. This is the sum. I need, a certain amount from you each month. I like sit her down and put your foot down. So I pretty much reiterated that conversation today. I said, she's not going to like it because I remember when my parents sat me and my brother down saying, hey, look, you guys are getting older. You need to start contributing to the house, whether it be groceries or something of that nature. So I wanted to know, how old were you when your parents, or if your parents had that conversation with you, and would you do that with your kids?
All right. It's a good topic. All of us have children. All of us can speak to this one right now. You want to know
how old we were
how old were you when your parents, sat you down and, hey, look, you getting older now, you got to start contributing. And would you take that same approach to your kids when they start getting older?
So I'll go first, and then I'll let Duck go afterwards. I thought you said something about a phone bill, so that's cool.
That's what I thought in the group.
But that's okay.
Yeah, but I'll spend that for another time.
All right. So the legal working age in Jersey is 16 with working papers. So you're supposed to be a junior in high school. You go to the office, you get your working papers, you fill it out, and you got to be 16.
Wait. You have to be a junior in high school? That's a stipulation? I was only a sophomore when I started working. I was 16.
Well,
Yeah, I was a sophomore too.
It's 16 or junior.
Working papers.
Right. It's 16 or junior.
If you're not 16 yet, because some people be.
No, you could be 15 because I was able to stay a little bit later than the 15-year-olds. All the 15-year-olds had to be gone by a certain.
GG, they've changed it because I know when I was growing up, and what it was like a grandfather clause. It was actually 14 when I was growing up, but then they changed it. Bro, I had classmates working at 14 with working papers.
Not legally. I promise you.
Working papers signed by the school. Absolutely.
Oh my God. All right, y'all. I'll tell you what, Duck, you go first.
No, you go ahead. I was just saying it used to be 14 and they raised it to 16.
When I was in high school, child labor laws were that you had to be 16 in New Jersey. Now, it says no minor under 16 years of age shall be employed, permitted, or suffered to work about or in connection with any gainful occupation at any time. The minors between 14 and 16 years of age may be employed, permitted, or suffered to work outside school hours and during school vacations, but not, let me see here.
There you go.
So it says how many hours can a 14-year-old work in Jersey? If you were 14 or 15, it says no more than 40 hours a week. So that's the new one. Hey, Duck, you are younger than me, though.
But it was like that, too, because they had to be gone by a certain time. Like, it was like maybe 3 or 4 15-year-olds. They were all out at the same time because you weren't allowed to work over a certain amount of hours a week.
Mm-hmm. And they usually have caps on the length of the shift. You can't be a full 8-hour shift either.
I graduated at 17, which means I started my senior year when I was 16 because I got a late birthday. So my junior year means I was 15 turning 16.
Yes.
Because I was 16 turning 17. Yeah. All right. So they told me I had to be 16 to work. I had put in job applications at places and they told me, no, you're too young. We can't hire you. I was like, I have working papers, which I didn't at the time, but they were like, no, you have to be 16. So what I did was I went to the office. We have teachers in our family. I went to our aunt and she had a stamp with the date. I stamped my birth date as November 1982 instead of 83 to make myself a year older. I had 2 jobs when I was 15, but my mom didn't have to ask me to do it. What my motivation was, and yes, I helped around the house and I paid for all my own stuff, but my motivation was when I turned 13 years old, my mom was single mom, not on welfare, government assistance, and no child support. When I turned 13, I wore a size 13. Payless at the time only had like 1 sneaker in a size 13. Everything else was 12 or lower. So she was like, Mommy can't get you no sneakers right now. I was like, all right, well, I got to find a way to get some money.
Right.
So I did other things on the side to get money, but I finally got a legal job when I was 15. I doctored my working papers. I changed the date and everything, and then took it to jobs and turned it in to say I was 15 years old. So say I was 16. I'm sorry. So I remember that. And Duck, I apologize because you are younger than me. So they might have changed the age by the time you were of working age. So I apologize about that. I didn't think about it. Like as you get older, things change. So you're right. But my mom never had to ask me to do it. I wanted specific cereals. I didn't want the knockoff cereals. I don't want Captain Vitamin. I want Captain Crunch. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what I wanted. I know what I liked. And I feel like an extra 75, 80 cents, $1 for the name brand cereal is worth it, but not if you're a single mom with 3 boys. You know what I'm saying? Not getting any assistance from anybody. So my mentality was just a little different. She never had to ask me to do it. So I'm a little different. As far as if I would ever ask my kids to do it, I always encourage a positive work ethic. My son just asked me, Dad, when can I start learning to drive? I'm ready to start learning to drive. I got height. Now he's only 13, but he's my height. So I told him, on your 14th birthday, I'll take you to start teaching you to drive. Y'all know I recently bought a little hoopty. I bought a Lincoln. I bought a little hoopty. So I got the parking lot picked out and everything. I'll have it up and running by his birthday, and that's what I'm going to teach him to start driving. And I'll take him to an empty parking lot, and we'll just learn that way.
So, bills wise, like my daughter, she'll be 20 this year. She's been out of high school. This is her first full year, and she doesn't want to go to school. She preferred to work. Now, when I was going to school after I graduated high school, I didn't have to contribute. My dad said, "Hey, your job is to finish school. Don't worry about it. We'll have that conversation later." Mind you, I grew up with a stepfather and a mother, so But at the same time, they wanted my dad's old school. He's freaking what? How old is he? 75. He grew up where as you don't live anywhere for free. So he's like, even though I don't need your help financially to take care of the household, I want to instill in you that you can't live anywhere for free. So I'm asking, would you take that same approach to your kids? You don't need their help financially, but you want to instill in them responsibility and, hey, you can't live anywhere for free.
What happened? Okay. So for me, what was it? Are we just jumping to the second question? I'm not even answering the first one. What was the
No,
first?
you can answer the first and the second.
The first one was what exactly? Not when we started.
How do you remember your parents sitting you down and, hey, look, you're getting older, blah blah blah?
That's right. Yeah. No, I actually approached my parents about me staying like as I got older. Hey, I could pay something, I could pay y'all rent, whatever, like what. And so the agreement it's funny, we actually never did this, but the agreement we came to was that I would pay the power bill. Because somehow they had a fixed power bill every month. I don't know how they managed to do that, but it was a fixed amount every month, no matter how much they used, whatever. And so that was what we had agreed on. Hey, if you're going to be here for X amount of time, just cover the power bill for us. Cool. I ended up moving out well before it ever got to that point. So they never approached me. They never sat me down. My approach though, as far as I think don't wait till your kid is working. I think that's a mistake that a lot of specifically Black parents make, but a lot of parents in general. Like you should be going over I was in high school with kids that were oh yeah, no, I know my parents make this much money and this is how much the mortgage is, this is how much the car note is and this and that. Like other cultures are going over this stuff with their kids well before they ever have jobs and are working, and they're aware of all this stuff and what goes into running your household and the finances and all that. And I think it just you're setting that precedent from the beginning that life is not free. Like all of this costs money. They're even breaking down the vacation costs. Yeah, we're going on that ski trip like we do every year, but this is how much it costs to make this happen. Each individual plane ticket, the lot wherever we're staying, you know what I mean? All of it, right? So they're showing their kids that. But some of them starting in like middle school.
I get that, but also I like to think that our parents wanted us to be kids. Like, let the kid be a kid.
They're still letting them be kids. They're still letting them be kids. They're just making them aware that there is another facet of life. I was never under the impression that these classmates were older, had all this responsibility on this. It was literally just that they were aware of it. And that's what I think it's important to make your kids aware.
What up, Spaz? Do me a favor and subscribe, big dog. I'm trying to get this channel to 200 subscribers, so that way this guy right here can wax his head live. You don't have to watch all the shows and like that. Just subscribe for me, okay? He gonna get that head waxed on camera. All right. Now to the point that y'all are both making, which are very good points, right? There's two different ways to look at it. In the Black community, and I hate to say that, in the minority community, it's work so you can pay for what you want, and I do like that. But other cultures they'd rather their kids hit the ground running after high school or after college with hundreds of thousands in the bank, right? I know because of where I grew up. I know of other cultures
real quick, let me interject. Even if they don't have that 100,000 in the bank, they're at least trying to set them up so that they're not in a bunch of debt at the very start. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to set them up so that go to school, you're not paying out of pocket, you're not taking out loans. Like they're just trying to set their kids up when they embark on life on their own.
So the other mentality is what along the lines of what Duck is saying is you can work, but they put all that money in a savings account. I was dating someone who her mom had her own business, her sister worked and all that stuff. They literally weren't even allowed to spend their own money. They had everything direct deposited. The parents paid all the bills as long as you were being responsible. They never touched their own accounts. And after they got a certain amount, they open up CDs for them, let the money work for itself, lower interest rates, but guaranteed interest rates and things like that. And the parents just kept compounding the money. They never touched their own accounts. These girls were in their upper 20s and had never spent any of their earned money because the parents said, you need a car, pick a car within this range. The parents bought it, cash, straight up.
I got
you know what I'm saying?
Two stories similar to that vein.
I think I'm going to instill something similar to my kids. I want them to work for certain things, right? So I had this conversation with my wife and my son in the car just last week, as a matter of fact. When you go to get your first car, when you get your license, daddy's going to match whatever you put down, right? I want to teach you the value of $1, save it, earn it, and then you find yourself your first car. Hey, look, you only got $1,500. You only getting a $3,000 car. If you have $8,000, now you got a $16,000 car. You get what I'm saying? So now the truth is,
my mom did that match for me with my first car too. Actually,
I don't know if he's out here. He was sitting here the whole time earlier. But the truth of the matter is, I want him to earn it, and then I'm gonna say keep it, and I'll get you the car still. That's my goal, to reward the dedication that he shows and the commitment to the process. That's how I'm gonna actually do it. And just let that sit there, or have him give it to me, and then I open up a CD. Like either way, he's not going to physically spend that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my plan. But go ahead, because I gotta do a show.
I know you gotta go. We run out, and other stories have hit my mind. I don't even know if it's work, but like my best friend from college, his family owned a diner. He worked starting at the age of 8, saved it all. We were going through college. He always had the nicest cars, and I was like, yo, how do you afford all these? I've been working my whole life. And he said it so nonchalantly, I thought nothing of it. Grew up older, traveling together, and we get into the details. And he's telling me, I started working at 8 and literally just saved everything. My parents didn't let me do anything with the money. My tips that I got from working at the restaurant, just the actual wage that they were paying me, was all just going in the bank. I had a teacher in high school, similar to what you were just saying, Mike. When she got adult age, after she graduated college, while she was still living at home, her parents were charging her, I think she said it was $125 a month in rent, or it might have just been 100, or it might have been 25. Whatever, the amount doesn't matter. But they were taking it every year, every month, and they were literally just putting it in an interest, a heavy interest bearing account. And when she got married, they gave it back to her on top of whatever their wedding gift was to her. Hey, no, this is your gift to you, and this is what we. And she had no idea till her wedding day that her parents had just been stockpiling that.
Yep, exactly. And I like that. And then if you're a really smart parent, some of the things that I saw when I was younger was parents opening credit cards in their kid's name. I thought that was dumb because those parents get irresponsible. They start using it, and then there's a debt attached to it. If you just open the credit card and establish credit for your children, they get a head start. I can't tell you, like, I didn't know anything about credit. I was working, money in the bank, go to apply for my first cell phone. That was the only thing I could actually get was a cell phone because they don't have the same restrictions. They don't have the same requirements. But I went to go get my first car, had enough for it as far as down payment and I can afford the payments. But they said you don't have any established credit. So that's when I started relying on family members to co-sign or put the car in their name and then allow me to co-sign. So I start building that established credit. So it's a learned thing. It's a learned thing. And, as we go through it, we have to learn to take the information that our parents gave us, apply that and some.
And what they didn't. And you use all together to form the best picture possible.
You have to take the information they gave you, use that, and do better than the information they gave you. And that's how you help the generations going forward. Yep. So, guys, this was a phenomenal show. Take yourselves off mute. Let's do some final thoughts real quick. 20 seconds or less for the final thoughts. Let's go with G first.
Final thought. Just try to do better than what you did the day before, man. The mistakes that you made, just start over. Allow yourself some grace, and easier said than done. Because sometimes, especially if it's something that you really wish you could have did better, whatever, just push it to the side. Tomorrow's a new day. Yesterday is forgotten. Keep moving.
Yep.
I think what G just said is perfect because it turns out I've quite possibly, most likely, been making a glaring mistake in my job hunt this last year. That's it. The friend that's been working since 8 pointed out to me last night, and so I'm working to correct it. And we'll see if it is finally the turning point in me landing the job. I won't go into detail now, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Be better than you were the day before. Gee, I like that. I'm not going to touch on it too much more. Guys, if you're watching and you're here from Nothing But Niners, thank you. Please make sure you subscribe and tell somebody else to do the same. And we are about to go live literally right now on Nothing But Niners. So thank you all for watching. If you want to hear some 49ers football talk, you want to see the all 22 in the breakdown, we got that coming your way in just a few seconds. I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be good. And we out of here. Peace.